right, and we have already seated and flipping through the papers. Chukudi,
I'm still preparing. I'm not flipping through anything. I got it all in my head already.
Okay, you are flipping through the notes.
Flipping, they say today is Boxing Day. Most people think when we're children, we're growing up.
No, he wants to cause a fight so that I box him.
When we're growing up, we thought it was the actual boxing itself that
That's what he's trying to do to cause squabble.
Oh, I'm a Christmas colors today.
You know what I like? You're a universal woman.
Yes.
You cross boundaries, religion, everything.
Of course. So I'm in my Christmas colors today. So let's quickly go to the papers, Mr. Chukudi. And today we begin with the Daily Trust paper. And just below the masthead, we have 22 injured as vehicle hits Christmas procession in Gombe. In Daily Trust newspaper, you find the details on page 3. 2025 FG budgets 100 billion for school feeding. You find the details on page 23. Christmas can urges Tinubu to reduce food prices. You find the details on page 37. And at the bottom plate of the Daily Trust newspaper, telcos may hike coal data tariffs early next year. You find details on page 25. Nasarawa pupils learn on bare floor. Details on page 26. Be patient with Tinubu. 2025 presents better deal. That's coming from the APC chairman, Ganduje. And police arrest bishops, orders over Abuja church stampede. Details on page 20. And the picture story you see in the daily newspaper, airstrike kills 10 Sokoto villagers. With riders, they have links with Lakurawa terrorists. That's coming from the military. Suicide bomber kills 2 in Borno, 6 soldiers injured. Detail, and then 450 people have so far been killed in accidental bombings in 10 years. You find the details all on page 4. You can see the pictures there. Funeral prayers for the victims of the airstrike in Salami local government area of Sokoto State. Victor.
All right, thank you, Jumai. And I have the leadership paper here. And it leads with this story. At Christmas, can clerics seek end to hardship, hunger? That story is on page 4 and it has 3 riders. Government must take decisive steps, say Kuka, Ndagoso, Yahaya. Governors preach unity, tolerance, and economy will be better next Christmas. That's according to Ganduje. And just above that story in a tiny strip, you have friendly fire. Fighter jet mistakenly bombs Sokoto communities. Page 7. CBN restoring economic confidence through monetary policies. You find details of that on page 7. And on the right-hand strip, you have police arrest priest, others over Abuja stampede. Page 4. Uni Abuja reiterates transparency in VC appointment. Page 19. Jigawa governor loses mother. Page 6. And insurance firms begin fresh recapitalization. That is on page 24. And that takes us to the Punch, not boxing. And this leads with Sokoto villagers accidentally killed as NAF bombs Lakurawa terrorists. LG chair confirms incident. NAF probes bombing. Boko Haram injure 5 soldiers in Borno ambush. That story is on page 2. I'm just accommodated beside the nameplate. Address unemployment, extremism to end insecurity. That's according to Father Matthew Kuka, page 14. And above the masthead, Lagos, Abuja, Rivers, phone seekers throng parks amidst stampede fears, page 2. And opposition laments hardship, APC promises economy, page 7. And then the picture story reads 38 dead in Azerbaijan Airlines plane crash on Christmas Day. and that story is on page 6. And at the bottom of the front page of the Punch, 3 Nigerians placed on FBI most wanted list for $6 million fraud, pages 4 and 5. Suspected killer of Niger ex-permanent secretary died in hospital. That's according to the police, and it's on page 4. And finally, 22 injured as vehicle hits Gombe Christmas procession. That one is on page 5. Chukwudi.
Victor, Ozomena is an Igbo name. It is called, it means may it not happen again.
Right?
But then another airstrike has happened. And
Again.
then
Friendly
10
fire.
Silami villagers are
Sokoto.
dead. In Sokoto State are dead. It's not right again. We have to quickly say that it shouldn't have happened. What could have happened? Was it that the coordinates were not well taken? These bombings are usually supposed to be preceded by good intel, where boots on the ground will tell you where to home in and all that. I'm not in the
precision,
precision bombing and all that. And we are upping the game in terms of joining countries that believe in state-of-the-art technology in everything. So that should also affect the kind of precision we want to achieve in terms of dealing with these insurgents or bandits, whatever you call them, you know. But look at 10 of our people are dead again.
And the military have links with Lakurawa.
That is the problem. Now, the 2 papers, the Punch says Sokoto villagers accidentally killed as Nigerian Air Force bombs Lakurawa terrorists. NAF probes bombing. But Daily Trust goes on to say airstrike kills 10 Sokoto villagers. Then they have links with Lakurawa terrorists. That is what we don't want to engage in this kind of discussion.
Yes.
Because it aggravates the pain. What really happened? When headlines are conflicting like this, it doesn't help those who are mourning.
No, it doesn't.
It is very important that we hammer this home. I mean, we push this home. Because those are not goats, hens, or fowls that died.
They're human beings.
They're human beings. And because they are villagers, you're going to see that the kind of outcry is met with the sort of, reprimand or whatever that is supposed to, we say when beggars die, no comments are said.
No comments.
About the death of princes, It's unfortunate.
But why do we have conflicting headlines? Because it would have been one statement. It would have been one statement. So why are we reading it differently? It's supposed to be one statement.
Yes, from the minute.
There are
that is the
multiple
point,
statements.
Victor. And this is where I ask the press to also exercise some restraint. It is not everything you hear that you publish. Sometimes you self-censor because of the health, the social, the health of the people. It is very important.
You want to stabilize the polity because
classified things, for instance, are not blazed forth by UK or US journalists. Country comes first. But in this case now, we're talking about empathy. People have died when they should not die. So even when the Lakurawa link was mentioned by one of the papers, if I were the editor, I would play that down first and make it maybe a discussion for another day. You understand?
After thorough investigation.
It's called information management.
Yes.
It's even in journalism, because this is our own country. Even if it's another person's country, humanity, beckons to you to be a bit circumspect about certain things. It's unfortunate.
It is.
I hope that the NFA will go ahead and carry out its probe as promised, because this should be addressed squarely. And the paper says, that's the Daily Trust now, 450 people killed in accidental bombings in 10 years. No. That's one bombing too many.
Too many.
That's the point of it. It's not right.
Yes. Let's move on.
They say priests are arrested over the stampede, over food and all that.
Over Abuja church stampede.
Again, it should be that way. That you're engaging some level of philanthropy does not mean that certain things that happen within...
Shouldn't be a free for all.
Exactly. Let us not say people were careless. We have not investigated. But the police ought to, and are really now trying to ask a few questions. Nigerians should not become cannon fodder because hunger stares them in the face. It's quite a pathetic scenario.
It is.
I pray that 2025, as is being touted,
presents better deal.
Yeah.
And we await that deal.
Actually, I am one of those who say that 2025 is likely to be better. But then what are the things you're going to inject into 2025 to make it better? Yeah, exactly. Food supply is very important after security. What are you going to do to make agriculture climb one notch higher in terms of meeting the people's expectations? Access to credit. How is it for us? How many farmers can really get loans from banks? It is the online money companies now that people wanted to get. Conventional banks will still give you the traditional attitude.
Yes. And one thing that beats me is this unconventional loan, something that you just find them sending you WhatsApp message. I wonder where they get our numbers from.
They have estate. No. They have estate from many places.
Yes. Their numbers have never been a secret.
Yeah.
Because in those...
They just have us.
Formerly, there was this big book, Yellow Pages,
yes, Yellow Pages,
where everyone's telephone number was written down. You know, when I was a young cousin, I remember I went to a man on Ihamajare, you know, Benin City, and he gave me that book, and we're, you know, going through to seek out. What I'm saying in essence is that your telephone number is not really supposed to be a big secret. It's not supposed to, except if you maybe make efforts to make it that kind of secret. But then these days, when you agree to so many things, cookies are all over your whatever.
I don't accept cookies at all.
You don't accept cookies?
I don't accept cookies.
Really?
I don't.
Okay.
Yes,
it actually limits your ability to score sometimes and to get
talking about calls. Telcos may hike call data tariffs early next year.
They never hike them already.
I don't fear already.
So already I feel that what I'm paying is hiked.
Is that already?
So if they are going to tighten the noose further, it's unfortunate.
Then we go back to traditional letter writing.
Because I'm not going to die easy. So let them keep tightening whatever noose they want to tighten.
You live to be 100 plus.
Well,
Victor?
Yes.
I'm not sure. Is there more to talk about at Christmas? Well, can clerics seek end to hardship and hunger?
Exactly, we're talking about that. And we mentioned that agriculture is one of the ways you have to, one of the things you need to work on to make people have more access to food. And I'm not accusing NIME.
And Father Kuka talks about tackling unemployment and extremism
exactly
to take care of insecurity.
Exactly.
While the FG budget's 100 billion for school feeding in 2025.
That's a good one. Some children actually they actually carry belly, they go school. You know, they carry mouth, they go school. That's how we say it in Pidgin. That means they go to school hungry. But as I was saying earlier, one of the things you need to do is to work on agriculture, not just to provide food, but also to provide employment. Agriculture will provide more employment, employment more rapidly than any other sector. Alas, we don't seem to give it the kind of attention.
The livestock
I think ahead of that, I'll come for apprenticeship in your farm. So just go prepare while I also prepare to join you.
You know, I don't have too many secrets, except if it concerns me and another person.
And most of our
you better find a better mentor, because all my beans perished. I was there strong.
There's a lesson to learn from that.
You know, the man said, "Start planting second week of August." I said, "No, second week of September."
We will see you tomorrow.
It killed off everything.
Yes.
Chukwudi, I will learn a lesson from that. We'll see you tomorrow, and then we'll solidify the plans.